right? And hello, everyone. Welcome to Quantum Catechesis. I'm Father Joe Krupp, and you are not. And today, we are really excited to have me on here. There's somebody else we're going to talk about in a minute. But
let's talk about you first.
Right. I've said enough about me. Why don't you talk about me?
Yes, I would love to.
So this is Matt Birk. Whoa! Bro!
Live studio audience, thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, that was nice.
And I wish that guy over there would put the booze down.
Yeah, he's fine. He just wet himself.
Again. Oh, no, that was me, by the way. Sorry about that. So anyway,
did you
Matt
fart?
Birk.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a group effort. So Matt Birk is a NFL veteran, Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
He is a Harvard grad, and all of those things are cool. Oh, and running for lieutenant governor. And we're going to get into all that in a minute. But first, I just want to tell you that I know this is a good man, and that I was blessed to meet him 3 years ago when I was doing prison ministry. No, I'm kidding. It was an exorcism. And it didn't go well. Turns out he made friends with the little guy, which made the whole exorcism part of it difficult.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I was like, be gone. And he was like, no, I'll make you a sandwich, dude. I'm like, Birk, stop. Stop. No, we met a few years ago on a marriage retreat.
Yep. We were not there together.
What?
We were not there together.
You insensitive man.
I'm just telling you.
That meant something to me. He was giving a talk at a marriage retreat. I was there to do masses and confessions, but not his, because it was only like 3 days. And the poor man, I was going to say we bonded, but I think it was more I latched on to him. And
I saw you I'd go down every day at 5 a.m. to work out, and you were there covered in sweat. It's like you'd already been there for an hour. You were doing like deadlifts and military presses. I was just like, this guy's a beast.
Yeah, like the way I would take the bacon down to the weight room.
Yeah.
Because, I'll be honest, those weights were heavy.
You're right.
But I found the bacon, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Right? And you eat enough of it, and you're just covered in sweat.
Yeah, I saw it was all over your hands, and then you'd put it, so you were like glistening. I was like,
right.
Man, he's working. I was like, no, that was the bacon grease from him just being sloppy.
Yeah, not sloppy, committed.
You were committed to that bacon.
Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this. I talk about bacon a bit on this show. And we just celebrated Easter. And, there's a lot of reasons, because I know
I'm wondering where this is going. We went bacon and Easter. Okay, good.
Just seatbelts. Harness. Okay? So, I don't know if you've ever heard this. Like, I have all these, reasons to be Christian. And I know you are a devout, faithful Catholic.
That's right.
But have you ever considered the fact that Jesus died so we could eat bacon?
No, but I guess technically that's true.
How can you not love him?
Yeah, no, that's...
Right, I've got friends who are like, well, I don't know if I believe in Jesus. I'm like, I got 2 words for you, bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bacon is proof that God does want us to have some happiness here on earth, right?
And we had a farm. And the thing I always say about pigs, you can give them coffee grounds, eggshells, human feet, and they make bacon.
Coffee can.
Yeah, and they'll eat it. And when they're done, there is bacon. How can there not be a good and loving God?
We used to, the most fun, we have a family farm. My grandpa lived on their entire life.
Yeah.
Birth, it was awesome. And every Sunday we'd go up there, and our favorite part, you got the cows, and there's a few horses, but the best part was just going to the pig barn and feeding the pigs.
Oh, yeah, they're so cool.
Pigs are, they seem just happy.
They're totally happy.
I could relate to them because I would have food and the pigs would be happy. And that's kind of me.
Yeah.
If someone has a plate of food, it's like, oh, for me, I'm happy. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. And here's the thing. Pigs are smart. And I always, pigs are the smartest animal on the farm. And sheep are
even smarter than dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't have dolphins on your farm?
Worship pigs.
Yeah, we had dolphins on our farm.
Yeah, we had dolphins for our tuna.
Right.
Yeah. Some people are like, oh, I want dolphin-free tuna. I'm like, that's not the good kind.
The dolphin's the best.
Yeah.
Juvenile dolphin.
Right.
Even
Oh,
better.
those are the best.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they call it, what's the cow thing? Veal. Dolphin veal.
Dolphin veal. I hope
Mm.
nobody from PETA is watching this.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
not.
that's
Trust
okay.
me.
They'll
They're
still
not.
run their scam. So, was that out loud? Was that?
Scam.
So, Matt
Yes.
is here today, and we're going to interview him and talk to him. And I was going to say submit your questions. But here's the problem. We're recording this at a secret underground location in Colorado known as The Meadows. Do you know this? What movie I'm doing?
Nope.
So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, Kathleen
that?
Turner.
No, Mike Myers.
Mike Myers and
Mike Myers. Like he played 4 people.
Yeah, that's
in there.
what he does.
Stephen Wright, the comedian's in
Oh,
it.
I love that
It's
guy.
a pilot who keeps taking a nap.
Stephen Wright's funniest. I mean, that guy. His stand-up
Oh, he's
comedy.
the king.
He had one. He said, "My mom told me that there was going to be one weird kid on the bus, but I could never find that kid." Brilliant.
Oh, I loved his. I have a microwave fireplace. I can spend the whole evening in front of it in 3 minutes.
That guy.
Yeah.
Should we just turn this into a show dedicated to Stephen Wright?
We could.
We should.
We could.
I wonder if he's Catholic. He's still alive. You should have him.
Oh,
on.
he's still alive. He's one of the few that didn't die. Right? Comedians in that era all died with white powder in their
I was going to
face.
say that's because they did a pallet of Coke a day.
Yeah. He only did half a pallet. He was smart.
Moderation. And he ate a lot of bacon, I heard.
Oh,
That's the
totally.
key to a long and.
And I saw him in that weight room a few times.
Sure.
Like that is a workout. When you're sitting there just shoving food in your face and watching people strain, it does something to you.
Well, some people sweat when they work out. You sweat when you eat.
Right.
Who
And
cares?
I
You're
sweat
sweating.
when I think of people working out.
And you sweat when you think of bacon because you just get excited.
This Sunday at Mass. So,
You had
it's
bacon
Michigan.
at Mass? Wow, that's.
Well,
that's-
yeah. What do you,
What
some
kind of
people
church?
use
What kind of
host.
church? Yeah.
Yeah, some people use host. I don't know what that's all about. I'm like, those don't taste good.
I think there's room for interpretation. It doesn't have to be.
Totally. So it's Michigan, so it's 30 to 40 degrees every day.
Yeah.
And then
I can
Sunday,
relate, Minnesota.
Right. Sunday, all of a sudden God went, meh, and it was 70.
Yeah.
And so I'm praying Mass, and I start sweating. And, of course, I'm wearing 4 layers of clothes, and I'm fat. So this is an issue. One of the acolytes came up and said, "Father, should we turn up the air conditioner?" I goes, "Bro, I'm not sweating because it's hot. I'm sweating because I'm fat. And the air conditioner won't make me skinny." That's what I told Money. Money
like
came
that.
up, and he was
I like
he was
that.
like being real discreet, like he had his cassock on. He came up, "Father, do you want me to turn up the air?" I'm like, "That ain't gonna help, bro. If you can hang meat in the church, I'm comfortable." So, what were we talking about? Did we get into anything yet?
Nothing. We've
No.
accomplished
Okay.
nothing.
So Matt Birk, superstar action figure, shoulder pads sold separately. You grew up here in Minnesota.
I
yeah?
grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Paul, Minnesota.
In the 80s. Yeah, St. Paul. Pretty
Okay.
cool. Pretty cool.
And did we talk about Pig's Eye?
Pig's Eye, yeah. So Pig's Eye was the name of St. Paul originally, and then they changed the name to St. Paul, which I think Pig's Eye is cool.
Yeah.
Pigs are cool. Pig's
When I
Eye.
could see St. Paul in heaven going, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
And I really, to tell you the truth, I think the only reason I know that St. Paul's name used to be Pig's Eye, it wasn't because I paid attention in school.
No.
It's because there's a beer called Pig's Eye.
Yes, there is.
Well, there was. I mean, I don't know if there is anymore, but it was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And it was the only reason I know is because it was when I was in high school. It was out, and I may have
Bought some for Dad.
bought a 12-pack for Dad,
Yeah.
for $2.99 back in the day, and it was just absolutely. It was just awful. But it was like, why is this called Pig's Eye? Well, that's what St. Paul used to. That's pretty cool.
I bought it my first day here. I was here a lot from 89 to 91. No, I always say that. I say it wrong. I don't know. At some point in the past. Before I was working in the CIA and after the whole Contra thing.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry.
Can't talk about it.
And I got here and I was driving in, and this is a true story. There's a big old billboard. And first thing I noticed, by the way, Minnesota drivers are slow.
Yeah.
Like I was driving from Detroit where 110 is cruise speed.
Yeah.
Right?
Here.
And I'm passing people at what I feel is a reasonable amount over the speed limit, and people are like double taking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in Bloomfield Hills. So there's a billboard, and it says, J. Edgar Hoover's mother used to put him in pink dresses. Pig's Eye, a brutally honest beer. And I thought, I'm buying Pig's Eye. And I did, because I had $3 in my pocket and I needed the change.
Do you know what the Pig's Eye Light, do you know what they called that? Do you remember?
No.
It was Pig's Eye Lean. Lean. Which was just a great,
Yeah.
Lean, not light, lean, because I was a lean, mean fighting machine.
Yeah, and you were right. You were O-line, and
I was an offensive lineman.
Okay.
And so the way the story goes is, I loved sports growing up. Grew up with a ton of kids. It was the '80s, man. The '80s was. I tell my kids, you guys missed out. The '80s was the best time to grow up.
I concur.
And just had this really like Norman Rockwell childhood, and loved sports. Was terrible at all of them.
Nice.
So in the 10th grade, I was like, well, I've tried everything else. I should go out for football. And never played football before, but that's when I discovered two of the gifts that God gave me, which was getting in people's way and grabbing onto them.
Yeah, I do this at church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know this. You've prayed a couple times in your life, right?
Yeah.
Like 3. God's heard a lot of prayers over the years. You want to hear a prayer God's never heard?
Hit me.
There's no 10-year-old kid who's ever knelt beside his bed and said, "Dear God, please make me an offensive lineman."
Nice.
Not once in the history of the world.
Oh, Jesus, I love Lomas Brown. Help me be like him.
Nobody wants to be an lineman. I want to be an lineman, but I actually, after just sucking at everything sports-wise, I was like, I'm kind of good at this. And so it was cool. I loved it. I loved being on the team. I loved kind of being an important part of a team, actually, versus sitting on the bench. And loved it, and somehow, some way, ended up at Harvard playing football. Which the biggest shock about that whole thing for me, the Crimson, was that Harvard had a football team.
Yeah, I think the oldest one in the country
back then. But you didn't know. We didn't have the internet.
Oh,
we didn't have cable TV.
That's true.
You're going to Harvard? It's like, do they have a football team? I'm like, yeah, I think they have uniforms and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's like a team. It's like a real thing.
Yeah, they play the local prison
and then from there, obviously, you go to Harvard. The only next logical step would be to play in the NFL.
Oh, it happens all the time. I mean, Harvard, NFL. Yeah, we
football
know.
Factory.
Although I've heard about a couple guys going from Harvard to like Wall Street, which is weird.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
Right.
Why would you want hundreds of millions of dollars for moving paper from this side of the desk to that? I'd rather go out there every day, have a grown man put his hands underneath me.
Yes.
It takes a little getting used to, as you know.
We call that Tuesday.
And then, snapping the ball to him, and then having a 350-pound dude like this far from your face.
Yeah.
Who's like, and it's always this big, sloppy, fat dude, but he's always got a nickname like Tiny.
Yeah.
Or Bubba or something, and he's got a short rap sheet.
Yeah.
And bad intentions. And, nose tackle. This is one of the great mysteries to me. I know you watch a lot of sports, so maybe you can help me out here. They call it the nose tackle.
Yes.
Does
Jerry Ball.
The nose tackle, I played with Jerry Ball. I got some Jerry Ball stories. Does the nose tackle ever make a tackle?
No.
Never. Why do they call him the nose tackle?
Because there was a thing, and some guys were, see?
Yeah. That's thank you for that. They should call him like the nose. They should call him the nose, kick the crap out of the center guy. That's what they should call him.
The guy who can't read.
So that was that was a much easier way to make a living than going to Wall Street.
Right, and less likelihood, oddly enough, of ending up in jail. Wall Street's got to be the only people ahead of NFL in prison.
Oh, yeah, probably. But when you play in the NFL, sometimes like you sort of feel like you kind of feel like you're in prison sometimes. Yeah. I don't mean like I didn't feel like my freedoms were taken away. I just meant like in the locker room, you're like, this might be what prison is like. It's just, it's a lively atmosphere.
Oh, indeed. Yeah. And probably a little harder than prison.
In some ways.
Yeah, but prison, there's rules.
Right, yeah.
So you played in the NFL, and you played for the Minnesota Vikings for how long?
11 years.
11 years. And then you played for the Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens for 4 years.
And you guys won like some kind of thing. I can't remember.
It's called like the Super Duper Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Does that refer to the outfits or?
Is that? I'm sorry.
Nothing. So you are a part of a Super Bowl team.
Yeah. We won the Super Bowl in 2012.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
That's crazy. You know what's wild? 2012 was the worst year of my life.
Really?
Yeah. Now was that an awesome year? Like, is that as incredible as I assume? Like, did you feel like you hit the mountain?
It was incredible because, I played for 15 years and never was. You kind of feel like, geez, like, and, the Patriots would win it every year, right?
Oh,
It's like those damn Patriots, cheaters.
Right.
And you just kind of feel like, is it ever going to happen? Like, what do you got to do to break this code and win the Super Bowl? So we did that year.
Beautiful.
I mean, of course, like that day, that night.
Well, Brady sucks.
He does.
Yeah.
Everyone talks. Listen, Tom Brady, okay, he's won 7 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
We know that. But let's not forget, he's lost 3.
Yeah, loser.
I have never lost 1.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am better
than Brady.
Tom Brady.
Let me double check with God. Yeah, he agrees.
Thank you.
Yeah. He says hi, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll tell him I'll talk to him later.
Yeah, well, he knows.
But you know what? Yeah, like you don't have those moments very often in life where some sort of achievement like that where to be able to share it with my family and friends, like they were all there, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty fun party that night.
Awesome.
Like it was cool. But you know what? And the guys. I'm not saying this just because we won. It was a great group of guys.
Yes.
And our coach, John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Sorry about
just
that.
a great John, not Jim.
Yeah.
John. He's John's the
just
sane
the name
one.
Harbaugh.
I know, but John's like the sane one. Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Jim's whack.
Jim ain't right.
No, he's not right. To do it with that and that, it kind of just made the whole thing special. So it was good. It was a good year.
And you know what was really cool? And this is a side note, but for those of you who know my parish, Father Lay moved in and helped me. And the guy's just an amazing priest. Truly, I can't tell you how blessed I am to have that cat to work with. And one of the first things I learned is in Fiji, there is an obscene amount of Ravens fans.
Of course.
Yeah. And when he found out, we were sitting together and we were texting something childish, I'm sure. And I says, yeah, this is Matt Birk. I said, hey, you know what? He played for the Ravens. He became, in the sweetest way, a little boy. And I texted Matt, Father Lay loves the Ravens, and you sent him so much cool stuff. No, that was really cool. Like that, doesn't he? He still wears that Ravens jersey all the time.
Well, here's the thing I've realized. Priests are always asking for free stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm so tired of you guys be like, boy, I'd really like to buy that, but vow of poverty, blah, blah, blah.
Well, 3 words. Celibacy.
Yeah.
You got to give us stuff.
Man alive.
Speaking of
collar
which,
abuse.
could I see your wallet for a minute? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, bro. Seriously, he was geeked
that's cool.
out. And he tapes, do you know this? Every Ravens game.
First of all, nobody tapes anything anymore. You just showed that you're
Oh,
old.
what do you call it? The
DVR,
witchcraft thing.
The witchcraft, yeah.
You know that's witchcraft.
Unless I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe he does have an old school VHS.
Oh, no,
and he's
you're
putting
right.
the tape in, and then
I
you
speak
got
lies with forked tongue. That's
say the
there's
same
actually
thing.
nobody named Father Lay.
Nobody.
But I got a nice jersey out of the dude.
Nobody under 40 says taped anymore. But
I'm
I
52.
use it all. I know. I say it too. I'm 45. I say taped. Yeah.
But what were we talking
what
about?
are we
You remember?
doing?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you retired from – did you retire from the Ravens?
I did.
And by the way, can I point out – and I don't know if this is good – you earned the prestigious Walter Payton Award.
Yeah.
And what was it that you were doing that merited that award? What kind of work were you doing?
So my wife and I started a foundation in 2002 focused on education, which is, obviously that's kind of my story. I mean, I actually wouldn't have been able to play college football had I not had pretty good grades to get into Harvard because there was no – Michigan State wasn't calling me to say, hey, we'd really like you to come play. I wasn't there yet. And so, it's kind of backwards, but having good grades allowed me to continue my football career and end up in the NFL. But I always wanted to do things. So we did lots of stuff in the inner city, lots of programs. And in Baltimore, we had it going, man. We had 100,000 kids, and we had 2 reading programs. And, it was easy for us because when you're a football player, a lot of corporations, we want to get involved in your charity and throw a bunch of money at it. And so you'd sort of take that, okay, you love the Ravens, great. Give me a stack of cash, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
Try to do some good with it. Sell them what they want, and then
Sure.
give these kids over here what they need.
That's cool.
But it was always around education programs.
Well, and that's a theme I've noticed about you, at least from afar, is you, and I mean this, and it's one of the things I really dig, you try to make the world better wherever you go. And you don't do it by trying to impose anything, right? Because a lot of people want to make the world better, and they think, well, just do what I say. And I've seen a few times where your service translates into, what do you need?
Well,
And I dig that.
That's what we're supposed to do, right? I mean, I'm
Right.
guilty of flapping my gums a little bit too, and
I never do
trying
that.
to tell people what they should be doing, but it never works. I mean,
I never do that.
I know.
So you know.
I mean, I try to tell my kids what to do. They don't listen, so why would strangers listen to me?
Yeah. Well, speaking of strangers listening to you,
Yes.
one of the coolest things going on right now. I've never had a friend running for lieutenant governor. I have one who tried
You don't have
to
many friends.
assassinate.
You don't have many friends.
Well, I pay you the same as I pay the others.
Yeah, but
You know. I've had a couple friends try to assassinate a lieutenant governor, but that's illegal now.
now it is.
Yeah, write that down. But all kidding aside, you're running for lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant Governor of the state of Minnesota. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk to me, Goose. What? Well, first, how about this? What do you think are the key issues that you can help with as a lieutenant governor or a dude in the arena?
Yeah. Well, I think here in Minnesota, and I don't know how many people listen are familiar with Minnesota, but
It's a state.
It's a state of the union.
And many, many lakes.
So, tough last couple years for everybody with the pandemic, of course. Minnesota leadership decided to sort of just follow the political science, if you will, and sort of follow suit with what the White House was telling us to do, which, during that time, I've never been super politically active, but, during that time, I'm kind of wondering, like, why is my corner hardware store closed, but I can go 6 blocks further and go to Home Depot?
Yeah.
Because there was essential businesses and non-essential, so small businesses really got the shaft. In Minnesota, which this is even like hard to say, but we have the largest achievement gap between white students and non-white students in the country.
No
Like,
kidding.
dude, when Mississippi is ahead of you in something, that's not good.
Right.
I make a
Besides
joke
crime.
because one of my employees is from Mississippi, so I like to make fun of Mississippi.
And I know him,
Yeah.
and I think we should make fun
It's a gal.
wait,
He's from Arkansas,
of him. Oh,
which
same
is
thing.
pretty much the same.
Just different letters.
But the thing that really got me kind of sitting back and watching in Minnesota was we had the George Floyd incident, which was terrible. But then, for 3 days, basically, people were allowed to go and burn our city down, and burning down, not the nice part of the city, right? Burning down and our governor was literally nowhere to be found, which just really bugged me. And I have a lot of friends who are cops, and the cops, were not being backed by the governor or the mayors, and it's just like this is not leadership,
Right.
And this is not Minnesota. Minnesota, I know everybody's got local pride, but like this is how it works in Minnesota. I go all over the country and meet people that always say, "Oh, Minnesota, it's really cold there," and I'm like, "Yeah, we know it's cold here. That's it."
You've lived here a while.
Yeah, but they say it's so cold, but they always say, the people there, there's just
they're
great
awesome.
people, and they are.
Oh, I agree.
And I think Minnesota people, like what we've always been, is like, hey, we're nice, we work hard, we take care of our neighbors, and we vote Democrat. We're very passive aggressive here. And my parents grew up; they're Democrats, and I don't like to reduce this to Republicans, Democrats, but it worked for a long time. But I think the Democratic Party has changed, and I think that we really need I think this what I think of as Minnesota and its values. I don't think it's being represented at our highest forms of government here. So I met this super cool dude named Scott Jensen, who people not from Minnesota might actually know him. He's a doctor here.
Yeah.
And when the pandemic started, he kind of stood up and said, "Hey, it's not good medical practice if anybody who dies with COVID, if we put down COVID as the cause of death." He's like, "We're going to have really bad data."
Yeah.
Like if someone's in hospice and they've got liver cancer and they get COVID and die, when we say cause of death COVID, like nobody's going to be dying from liver cancer. So it's just kind of he's just kind of like, hey,
That's what happened. I saw the numbers.
Well,
All
yeah.
of a sudden, cancer disappeared 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Which was really
And
nice.
he said you're going to have a bad day, and then all these drug companies, we all like drug companies, right? Are going to say, "See, look, our drugs are working. Nobody's dying anymore." And so it was strictly from just a medical perspective, and instead of getting hey, that's actually we should probably think about that. The Minnesota Department of Health investigated his medical license, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And this story got out, and he was doing. Long story short is a lot of people might know Dr. Scott Jensen, coast to coast. He's doing Fox News, sort of speaking. I'm just going to say really just science and truth and facts during the pandemic without a political slant. Fast forward a little bit, he sort of gains a platform and he gets urged to run for governor, which he has been a state senator before. And he runs, and he's kind of created this awesome grassroots movement here in Minnesota. And he asked me to join him, and I said, Scott's a good man, and I know he's trying to do the right things for the right reasons, and I can get behind that. So here we are.
And one of the things I noticed, and I really tried hard, and to be honest, there's people listening, and I get it, who can't hear what I'm about to say. And I get it. I know there's areas like that in my own life, okay? But what I was amazed at when I looked into it, because I knew you were connecting to him, and I'm like, okay, what's up with this cat? And what struck me is he was simply he made a really simple point, and it was the one you said. Our data needs to be accurate. And then he was what were they calling him? Like a virus denier.
Oh, yeah, anti-vaxxer.
Like, anti-vaxxer. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, it just amazed me. And Republicans and Democrats keep doing this thing where what are our two options?
Right.
Diarrhea or constipation. That's it.
I call that the extreme false binary that gets put out there. And we all do it. You got to zoom up.
Some people do that to you.
All the time.
And it just drove me nuts because there was no point where you said, don't get the vaccine.
Right. I mean,
there was no point.
But that's what they throw out. Like, if you're not 100% on board with the vaccine, then you are an anti-vaxxer, and right. It's just not intelligent conversation. But and we all have to. I mean, I think politics. It's obviously a lot bigger than politics. Yeah. But you got to zoom out and you got to say, do we all? Are we just so tribal that no matter what we're gonna cheer for our team? Like, no matter what, you cheer for the Tigers.
Right.
You think the Tigers can do no wrong.
Right.
I mean, you're blinded.
No, that's
true. That's because you're just not
right. Oh no! See, these years we've been bad. We were lying in wait. We wanted other people to have a chance. Like, I don't know if you heard, we called the Dodgers. We're like, you guys want a shot? Yeah,
that was very.
We'll stay out of your way. We love Jesus
but
here.
We have to go back and just, you kind of say, like, we can't get caught up in it. And it's really an interesting social experiment, I think. And especially we talk about COVID or whatever. And I'm not trying to say I'm not right about everything. Let me put it this way. When you if you go to CNN to get your news.
Yeah.
And then you go to Fox News and you get your news. Now, you might like one of those. The story's better on one of it. But you have to understand, you're getting propaganda from both.
Absolutely.
You have to feel that. And if you say, that's CNN liberal bias, but Fox News is 100% truth, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong. There's bias and propaganda.
They're selling you news.
Exactly. They're selling. It's all selling. And so we have to always, it's really hard to search for truth, but I think our media, both sides, have fooled people.
Yep.
And it's easier to fool someone than to convince somebody they've been fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
kind of easy to fool. It's hard to convince. So now everybody's like so pot committed on it might be the vaccine. It might be on Donald Trump. It might be, I don't know what it is,
Gender.
right? Whatever. We can get into the specific issues, but I'm trying to make a point is it's like I think we really have to guard our minds and really our hearts so we don't get fooled. And if we are, just because, hey, I admit it, it happened.
Yeah,
I'm human.
Yes.
And try to move on. You had a great homily. You must have ripped it off from somebody.
Yeah, I got it from a guy who can read.
I think it was during the presidential election. You were talking about oil in the lamps.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't let the politicians steal your oil.
Yeah.
And I think there's too many people where it's politics has become the altar, if you will, where people are at. It's just like so important to them, and they're so angry. And don't let politics, don't let me take your oil, right?
Yeah.
Politics is like, it's important, but it's not the most important thing.
Well, brother, it's so more and more like, and I'm older, but not much.
Way
right?
older.
We have, I'm in a lot better shape, so people might think, wait, are they the same age? No, I'm actually older.
We're not identical twins.
I know, isn't that weird?
People like,
yeah, and we get it all the time from nobody. But one of the things, like, as I watched when the quarantine happened, right? We prayed as a parish leadership. What does Jesus want us to do? Okay. And at the risk of an overly dramatic statement, we took to the streets, right? We literally walked through neighborhoods praying with people from a distance. We set up our parking lot so people could pull up in their cars and we can talk to them, pray with them, hear their confessions, whatever. The goal was people are freaked. And at the beginning, and I mean this, the first month, I can't tell you how many people had two conflicting emotions. Fear at what's coming, because at that point we didn't know.
No
It could have been 30 million deaths.
Bubonic plague,
Right? Yeah. And also, and I promise this is true, I can't tell you how many people were like, I'm sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
I'm playing with my kids.
Yeah.
They were actually being human beings instead of human doings.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I'm so stupid, my
some things you don't have to say out
hopefulness.
loud. People just know.
Right, about your face. Yeah. Checkmate, Birk. But I remember naive me having hope. I'm like, this is going to be the thing where we all stop. And we go, I'm all about my spouse and my faith and my kids. And I am going to be the master of work and finance. Those things won't be the master of me. And instead, and I could cry, I watched the disillusion of our psyches as the fearmongers and the fear peddlers won. It was no longer that politician disagrees with this politician. And both have the best interests in mind. They just disagree about how to get there. Instead, it became, that guy's going to ruin the country. He's going to kill your children. No. That guy's going to ruin the country and kill your children. They hate you. And it was like, and we even stopped taking into account human fallibility, right? Just, well, why did they do this? Well, because we're broken. We all make mistakes, right? And the days of a politician getting up and saying, we were wrong. We're going to do our best to fix this, right? We thought A, we found out B. Okay, we're going to adjust the ship.
Yeah.
And instead, we let two political parties that don't give a rip if we're alive or dead
No doubt.
tear our families apart,
Yep.
end our relationships, and get us to start burning things down. And I know I'm getting overly, and it all goes back to me. And of course, and I know you as a faithful man, fighting for holiness in a real way. And that's because your first identity is Matt Birk is a son of God. And my job is to love my wife and honor her, to care for my kids, and to make the world around me better. That's your first tribe. And because that's your first tribe, you're not enslaved to any other.
Yeah.
Nobody has power. I mean, with all the normal sins and failings of a human, nobody has power over you beyond God and your family, because those two tribes of yours, those are the only ones you want.
Well, I still think there's a lot of people out there like that, right? Who who have the priorities right. I mean, when I say a lot, more than 12.
Okay,
I mean,
maybe
there's
11.
millions, right? But there are a lot of people on the other side too who their identity is wrapped up in, maybe it's their political party, maybe it's their job, the wrong things, right? And this is not news. For this, life goes on, and Satan's good. Like, he is a very worthy adversary, right? Very cunning.
Yep.
So what does he do? Like you just said, it human doings, right? Keeps us really busy.
Yep.
Keeps us worrying about all this stuff that really doesn't matter.
No.
And
keeps getting us to try to control what we can't.
Yeah.
So that we don't work on controlling what we can.
Right. And I mean, if you don't even want to talk about, now that I'm on the campaign trail, I'll say it like this, because I was going to come out with a political platform saying everybody's going to be baptized. That's going to be mandatory.
Nice.
I didn't think that would win, though.
No, it's fine.
I don't know.
It worked great in the Middle Ages. It really did.
But it was like, look, this country known as America, okay? It was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Now, right away, people are going to say, yeah, don't shove your Christian values down my throat. And when people say that, what I hear is, let me shove my leftist ideology down your throat.
No, let me shove my values down your throat.
But I would say, okay, Judeo-Christian values. Like what Judeo-Christian values are we opposed to? If we want to make this right versus left, Republican versus, all right, Democrat. So what Judeo-Christian values are you opposed to, right? Like, love your neighbor, feed the hungry, care for the sick, clothe the naked. Like, tell me which ones of these values are, and individual freedoms, right? Like, it's about equipping and giving the individual the opportunity to reach their full potential, if you will. And the government is not the God, right? It's more about the government's here to support the people. And so even that talk, but I mean, it's like, I just hate to say it, how for so many people, and I don't know what this means, and we're not going to solve it on this show, but
I did.
It's almost like the mention of God is like toxic to them. And I want to say, what happened? Yeah. I mean, I really do want to say, what, like, do you know, has anybody really ever shared the gospel with you? Yeah. I mean, not to sound cheesy.
No,
have you read the gospel? And obviously, they didn't wake up and say, damn it, I'm going to renounce Jesus, and I'm going to, something's happened, right?
Right.
And that's where this whole thing gets messy and complicated. But you want to just have the talk and be like, bro or sis, like, let's just,
what happened?
Like, can we just talk?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they know. Like, they don't understand the grace and the mercy and
because we're terrible at showing it.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think it was Bonhoeffer, but I could be wrong, right? The greatest single cause of atheism is Christians, right? Who acknowledge Jesus with their lips and refuse to acknowledge him with their lives. And we were just talking about this in meaning I was.
You and all the voices in your head? Is that your
Yeah, sorry. But where, like, I told a story at the beginning of my homily, and this was Sunday, and it was an okay homily, it wasn't my best, but about a guy who wakes up on Easter and says to his wife and kids, we haven't been to church in forever. Let's go to church. So they pack the little ones in their car, and they bust over, and of course they're late. And the usher's going to walk them right up front because these are Catholics, so the front pews are still open, right? And everybody's giving them the look.
The usher's like, hey, you want to sit? No, I got all these kids.
I'll sit in
we're
the
good.
bathroom. Yeah. And, everyone's giving them the stink eye. And they sit down. When do you sit? When do you stand? And since you're in the front, you can't see what's going. And they screw it up. And the priest gets up in his homily and thunders at these creasters. These Christmas and Easter Catholics.
Priesters.
And he, right? And then right before communion, the priest gives the talk about worthy reception of communion. And if you haven't been going to church, you don't come to communion. And in the end, after all the looks for their freaky kids acting up, why don't they take them out? Well, because if they take them out, the kid learns if I make noise, I can get out of here, right? And I was, I'm not the brightest guy, but I knew that one as a kid, right? You could figure that out real quick. How can I get out of church? Make dad mad enough? Getting your butt whooped only lasts about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That thing in there's an hour, right? But so these poor people, they leave and they're so embarrassed and they're horrified. And on the way home, they stop and get a breakfast. And the waitress gives them a nice table and is really kind to them, explains the menu. And then one of the kids knocks a thing over and don't worry about it. And they mop it up. And when that family's leaving the restaurant, the dad says, those people are nice. We should eat there more often. And that contrast of Christians who make non-Christians. And they do it by trying to clean fish they haven't caught. You need to knock it off. No, they don't. They need to know Jesus. Then they'll want to knock it off.
Right.
But it's a journey. It's a process. And we won't let people take the first steps because we're pissed at them for not being on the 10th.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we do this. We fall into the tribalism. And then we say, the country's abandoning God. No, you abandoned God in his name. And look at what happened.
Yeah, I think one time I was self-righteous. One time. Yeah, I remember that.
No, I thought you were just joking.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, we struggle with that self-righteousness because we love the virtue. We love the hard fight, and we figured out, as much as I hate this, I'm better afterward. And then when we see people not doing it, our love translates into control.
Yeah.
I think. That's what I find in my heart.
See, I keep it a little bit more simple than that. I mean, because you're a priest. I'm not.
I work for Jesus. I'm kind of a big deal.
But right, like who is Jesus in the gospel? Who is Jesus administering to? Who's right? It was the tax collector, the prostitute,
NFL guy.
Right. Yeah. The NFL.
Oh, was that out loud?
Right. It was the Pharisees who he was kind of saying, shame on you guys, right?
Yeah.
This is our brokenness. This is the human condition. This is how stupid we really are, because we can read that, and even the most the daily communicant and faithful Catholic hears that all the time, And then we will, and we'll pass judgment on the lukewarm Catholic. Someone trying to come back,
Right.
let me show them how smart I am. I'm going to come over the top and hammer them with this thing I heard. So yeah,
and that's the thing. I mean, when we, the devil's greatest trick to me is to move God gave us energy for an internal fight. My job's to be holy, and that's hard because I'm a train wreck, right?
Yeah.
But to then take that energy he gave me for self-control, it's so much easier to push it out there.
Oh yeah.
Try to control that and that and that, and let my fear and anger consume me. That's so easy. I fight it all the time.
Control that, and then just not do the introspection that's really needed to grow in holiness.
I feel you.
Like that nightly examine thing.
Bro,
like that's
that's
hard, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I
It's
find
hard
if I
work.
do it for other people, it's a lot easier.
You know what? I took this really deep test from this consulting firm, and my number one skill is pointing out other people's shortcomings.
Praise God. That's a charism.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
You want to? Speaking of the greatest trick the devil ever pulled, I don't know if we have time for this. You can edit it out.
We got all the time in the world.
One of the greatest homilies I ever heard, and when I say one of the greatest because I actually remember it, I was in Pittsburgh, of all places. And Baltimore and Pittsburgh, like huge rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Lions don't have any rivals because they're not any good.
Right.
But,
the fans and the team are an awful intense rivalry. Yeah. It's one of those where we're like, can you guys win a couple games? Like, screw you, no. It's been ongoing.
The biggest rivalry is the team and their fans.
Do you know how many playoff games we've won since 1958?
One?
One.
Yeah, congratulations.
And that was a team with Barry Sanders, Chris Spielman, Brett
Herman
Perriman,
Moore.
Herman Moore, Jerry Ball, it was Benny Blades, Lomas Brown, right?
I'm going to come up with one more name for you that Alex Karras?
No, that was the 58 team. We're talking about the 86 team that won a playoff game by accident. We didn't mean it.
Was Scott Mitchell the quarterback?
Yeah.
Big Scott Mitchell.
Yeah. He was big.
This is before our game,
yeah.
we're, you always get these priests. Have you ever done an NFL mass?
Yep.
You have. So when you're on the road, the priest always comes in and we would, say, well, if you're playing in Pittsburgh, sorry guys, I'm a Steelers fan, but that's like the joke, and we would always be like, don't make the joke.
Oh, I never did.
Yeah, good.
Hate the obvious joke.
Because when the priest says like, oh, but this guy, he was like Pittsburghy. You know what a yinzer is? Like in Pittsburgh, they call them yinzers. These are like good old fashioned. They're Polish, like yinzers. Like they're Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Picture a Pittsburgh priest. So he's just not really impressed with anything. He's just kind of like, I don't care if you guys play for the Ravens or not. Like I don't really care. I really care about the Steelers that much.
Yeah, I'm here to bring you Jesus.
He said the devil was meeting with all his little like devilettes or whatever, his little soldiers, and they're like, we got to figure out how to do this, like how to get people to turn away from God. The devilette said, what if we tell them that God doesn't exist? And the devil thought about it. He's like, that might work for a while, but like when people are on their deathbed, like they're gonna know, like they know deep down, and they're gonna.
I've been there for
So the devilettes go back. They come back. They say, what if we convince them that it doesn't matter what you do when you're here on earth? That God's gonna save you, right? The devil thought about it. He's like, it sounds good at first, but they're going to realize, like, you can't just do whatever you want, right? And the minions went away, and they came back and said, we got it. Let's convince people that they've got all the time in the world.
There you go.
And that's, to me, it's like that. And that's what I fight. And that's what we all fight these days with the distraction and just everything, man. These stupid phones. And, gosh, I got to know every single piece of information. Like I hear about stuff. You hear about something that happens in Texas, and it's like, oh, and of course, the media loves to, there was a car accident in Texas and 5 people died, and that's like obviously not good,
right?
But like, why do I need to know that? Like, how is that gonna help me be a better husband or a better father? I guess my point is, I don't know if I have a point.
No,
you're talking about what the devil does, right? Like all his little tricks that he pulls, and
exactly.
we think
he
we're
gets
doing
us
good.
Focused on what has nothing to do with us and us trying to control that instead of the job of being the man or woman Jesus made us to be.
I mean, when you talked about the pandemic and everything slowed down, and obviously did not like it when the churches were shut down, which was another thing. But I mean, me and my family, right? The kids healthy after like a few days. I was like, I think we're gonna be okay. Like, I think we're not at risk, and
Good shape.
But kids couldn't go to school, couldn't even go to church, couldn't. So we were out back. Like, I just pulled out like all these buckthorn trees, and we were working, and we were hanging out. And I mean, I was gonna be like, hey, this is cool. Don't worry, I'm just gonna watch sports all day.
Yeah.
But then they canceled sports, so then I had to hang out with my family. But no, it was like I mean, for us, I think it was like a net win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we did so much cool stuff, and like, to your point, and then it's like, I mean, my buddies and I even joke around a little bit, saying that it was when everything restarted, and now we're got all these kids. You got to get them to this practice and that practice. We're like, we'd say, I kind of miss COVID. Because kids couldn't even play sports.
Oh yeah.
But that's sort of how life is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be simple, and work and live and pray, and not all this go.
My one of my family has a bunch of kids, and he had this pivotal moment with his first child that he shared with me. This blew me away. He said his daughter, she was a squiggly, I don't know, this tall, right? I don't have kids, I don't know, this tall. And he said, it's the morning, and we've got this thing on the fridge, right? And it's, okay, well, we got to get her to this at this time and this at this time, but it's on this day, so we got to. And he said, and all of a sudden we looked over, she was like this. And he says, what? And she said, when do I stop? A little boo, right? When do I stop? And he then instituted a not just sport, what do you say, extracurricular per kid. That's it. Every year, you pick one. Whatever one it is, that's you. But I want you daydreaming, I want you bored, and I want you working at home.
And committing, petty misdemeanors.
Right. We just call that
mischief.
Yeah. This is Flint, bro.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Sure,
but really,
that's illegal anymore.
Yeah. and he, no, it's encouraged. But, you did talk about your family. And I don't know how much we want to talk about it because I know people are weird.
I don't care.
Okay,
so we're weird too.
Yeah. What, fifth wife now?
Yeah.
Okay, how's that going?
This one, she's the one.
Yeah,
she is the one this time.
A lot of times the fifth one's the charm.
It's been the greatest 8 weeks of my life.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is for forever. My wife, Adriana, been married for 20 years.
Nice. Where'd you meet her?
Well, this is classic. I was an old lineman, 315 pounds, solid muscle.
Of course.
And so I would work out. I'd get up early in the morning, I'd work out, and then I would my day was in the off season. It was just like, well, where am I going to go eat? Because eating's nutrition. So there's this Greasy Spoon Diner in St. Paul that's just like the spot. It's in the hood, and just the best. Like, just lineman portions, everything. So I would go in there, and she was in college waiting tables, and everything's big. I'd get an iced tea, and they're like 32-ounce iced teas, right? So the whole thing was like, you come in, they pour you one drink, take your order, throw the slop out in front of you, and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted her to keep coming to talk to me, so I would just suck down these iced teas. I drink like a 2 gallons.
Destroyed your kidney.
And she'd always be like, God, this guy. And so, and that's what I do. Like, I'm a lineman. I just wear them down.
Yep.
I just wore her down.
Yep. Block her progress and grab her.
Yes. And grab onto her. And then it was caveman. Now that's where we met. And
that's so cool, bro. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And how many kids we got?
We have 8 kids.
Yep. I met 3.
Yeah, you met the 3 boys. Yeah.
They're good boys, bro.
They're teenage boys.
How's this? They're good at being boys.
There you go. They're boys. They're boys. Blessed 6 biological kids with 2 through adoption, which is just an incredible,
praise God,
miracle thing. It's man, and they're all healthy, and it's I don't have any real problems.
Nice. Well, I don't know. I can't tell when we started, and I know he's got to go at some point. Is it speed round time, or do I have time for more questions? A couple more questions. Okay. Big question.
I have to pee.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep going.
You got the cup right there,
bro. Here, go ahead.
Now, can you pause it? Do you want to?
No, I want to keep going.
No. Okay. So next question. Do you have to pee?
Yes.
See, I'm really good at this stuff. Bro.
Yeah.
I knew.
It would be great if we could just have a little running water in the background too. Like, sit here and have.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this happened to you.
You're at a waterfall.
When churches started that thing. where they build the running water.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm sitting next to my best friend in the world, Father Jeff. We're both have you met Jeff? Okay, so we grew up together. Well, we got older at the same time, whatever. And I got ordained a priest a few years before him because I'm a better person.
Right.
And much more humble. Right. Love you, Jeff. But when we were in high school, we were at church, and the priest was all geeked out. We built a running water font. Like, I don't know what that means. Will Mass be shorter? That's that was the number one concern because there was baseball.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So we're sitting there, and of course, my mom and dad were not above violence. You know what I mean? With that many kids.
That's
like
good parenting.
At that point, Dad had like literally 12 kids in the house, right? And I always
brass
had the
knuckles
place of
everywhere.
honor right next to Dad, because I was such a good kid. So
Super
it was
bully.
me, Dad, me, Jeff, and all of a sudden the priest is droning on, right? Sure, and we hear this running water,
Trickle.
and Jeff says, and I quote, "Someone leave the bathroom door open." And I fell out. Like, it was one of those where that's objectively funny.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it was ludicrously funny.
Well, then no, in church, like when you're not supposed to make, and you hear it, it becomes like it's like jokes on steroids in church.
Dad was an industrial pipe fitter. His biceps were like this, and he had a hand like a sea clamp.
Yeah.
And he actually broke my neck, and I died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, one of those where Dad puts his hand around his son lovingly at Mass, and then you hear pop.
I know the move. I know the move. I use it. I used it.
I died, and then he prayed over me, and I rose.
Lazarus.
Yeah. Well, it's why I work for Jesus now. We're very much alike. The long hair. Why are we talking about baptismal fonts? Do you remember?
Because I had to pee.
Oh, nice. But that's a true story.
Yeah.
St. Mary's and Adrian. Yeah, that's what I've got.
That's cool.
Well, then, how about this? We have a spirit. You can't look. I saw you looking at those questions.
I can't read. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
This is
that's
just-
right. We aren't using
Hieroglyphics.
pictographs. So we have this thing here called Speed Round. And I'm afraid it's going to end your political career because these are piercing, insightful. I mean, like, people have died, man. People have died.
Just like the Budweiser. This is the Pig's Eye Hot Seat.
Yeah.
Pig's Eye Hot Seat, right?
Pig's
here.
Eye Hot
Remember
Seat.
that?
Can
Remember
we
the
call it
Budweiser
that?
Hot Seat?
No.
Oh, I mean, in sports, they'd put these athletes on there and they'd fire questions at them and like deep questions, like I'm sure you're going to ask.
We're now going to call it the Pig's Eye.
This is the Pig's Eye.
Hot
I'm going to get
Seat.
you a marketing deal with Pig's Eye. I don't know if they're still in business, but
Yeah.
nothing. I bet there's still a lot of cases lying around.
I
They can't
have my
give
own
that
beer.
stuff away.
I have my own beer.
I know, but it's not as high. Can you get a 12-pack for $2.99?
No.
Probably not.
Your face can get a 12-pack for money.
Come on, Tommy boy.
Do you know what's crazy? I make no money off that beer.
That's wrong.
I do get a free T-shirt like every 2 years.
Wow. Who's ever negotiating your contracts, you
Yeah.
should
Carrie,
should
but she
fire
was
them.
drunk. In her defense, she was drunk.
You're not getting any. I heard she's
Oh, yeah, Carrie's rolling.
mint. Stacks.
Hey, I just thought of something. That's wrong.
Stacks of cash. Fat stacks.
Yeah. Why
All
do you love my dad?
Huh? Because, I mean, how do you not?
I know. He's the
How do you
best
not?
dad ever.
Yeah.
Now, man, is your dad with us?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
he is.
How's he doing?
He's good.
Yeah. Is he proud of you about this whole thing?
I think so. I think my dad is, that generation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's him and Gordon are kind of the same, cut from the same cloth, same generation. My dad, his mom died when he was young, 2 tours in Vietnam, like this stuff. And, those guys, like, it just doesn't,
Yeah.
like the next time I hear my dad complain, will probably be the first.
Oh,
I
same.
think. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're just, those are men. They just, I don't know. There's something about that we don't have.
No. I
these
mean, I
days.
have it, but like you.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, you have it.
It's my NFL career, really, if you think about it.
Right,
You know,
right. The toughness, the
Do you want to hear a
perseverance.
great dad's toughness story? It's a true story. So we were going to church, and I don't know how many of us you had in the house at that point. Probably 6. Okay, because I was a squiggly. And we were doing some kind of renovation in the house. And here's the thing: we were never late for mass because we needed a pew, right?
Yeah,
We
you do.
needed-
Yeah, you gotta get that.
And we're walking out, and Dad, you hear this sound, which is the equivalent of me screaming in fetal position and sucking my thumb on the floor. And so nothing. Right? Didn't say anything. We all go to mass. We get home. He asked for a pliers because he had stepped on a nail that went through his shoe, through his foot, and up the top. But he didn't want to be late for church. So
That's
he prayed mass with a crucified foot. And even Jesus is going, bro, I fell 3 times. You know what I mean? And Dad's like, it's fine.
it. That's the winner.
Dude.
That's the story. That's the winner.
Oh, it's crazy. And again, me thinking about it, I'm like, I have to miss Mass.
Yeah. I don't feel good. I'm lightheaded.
And do you know it's that generation is the reason? Do you know this? Seriously, that at least in my diocese, we stopped public masses for COVID. Do you know this? This is a crazy story. Bishop Burrow, and I love that cat. He sends this email to all the priests like 2 weeks before Governor Whitmer did the, you shall not pass.
Where she got kidnapped. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is that her? Wait, Whitmer. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Before she got kidnapped.
Oh, yeah.
It's a joke.
Oh,
Bad
Carrie's
joke.
saying I have to wrap
I
it
don't
up.
know.
Can I still tell this story? Yes. Okay, so he sends this email out to all the priests, and he says, all right, listen, we're going to put out a public statement. We ask all you to ape it, right? And the whole idea is, please don't come to Mass if you're over 65 or if you're not in good health or, like, there were all these things, right? And this was 2 weeks before the quarantine. And this guy's on top of things. And then he told us, monitor what happens because I want to know if they'll listen to me. Right? If I tell them, do not come to Mass if you're at risk. Because and it literally was in there, if you come, we're going to have to cancel Mass. So that weekend, do you remember this? We said all this. We were praying in the hall at the time because we were building a church. So we had seats 6 feet apart. I mean, we had, you had 17 gallons of Bactine or something, right? And we're out there just going to war. And every millennial skipped Mass because they could get sick.
Yeah.
And every senior citizen in the world is like, bring it, fat boy.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, what? So then he writes us all, and he's like, so did the elderly show up? Yes.
In droves.
In droves.
Every single one of them.
Come. The people in top physical condition, they stayed home, shivering, right, in fear. And so he was like, every priest wrote him the same email. All the senior citizens. We got senior citizens from Detroit because they were shutting down their churches. So our church is packed with senior citizens, people with oxygen masks, when they even got the little things with them just in case. They're all like, screw it. If I go down, it's with Jesus.
Yeah.
So then the bishop's like, we have to close our churches. Oh! So if they were a little less tough.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah, I blame them. The greatest generation. Please. The second greatest generation. Behind us. You're an Xer, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's
we're the best.
Confuses me.
Like when Trump was all into it with that Kim Jong-il, I was like, I knew the world would end because a boomer and a millennial gets into it.
Yeah.
We Xers knew that. We were like, we're just going to keep working and paying taxes, and you guys figure it out. Okay, so we are to the speed round.
Carrie's about to have a heart attack.
I know.
She's like, keeps going
great?
like this to you, and you're just like,
Well, it's not what you think. It's a waving.
Oh.
So I have a series of questions.
Let's go.
Okay. Chevy or Ford?
Chevy.
Nice. Text or phone call?
I'd like to say phone, but I text a lot.
Yeah. Movie or book?
Oh, book. Not movies.
Which one of your top books?
Love The Alchemist. Paulo Coelho.
I never read it.
Oh, it's a real easy read. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a great spiritual message.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you playing with me?
No, I'm serious.
Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Alaska or Florida?
When?
Yes. You have to pick one, bro.
I mean,
I didn't say it.
I'm going to say Florida for most of the time, but I've been to Alaska. I love Alaska.
All right. Florida or Texas?
Florida.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. One time at my birthday, I think I was in like 3rd grade. And, this was back when like a birthday party was you're going to have a bunch of kids over to your house and your mom's going to make a cake.
Yeah.
And you guys can play in the backyard for like 2 hours and you eat cake, then you're sending all the kids home.
Yeah,
you
go home. Nobody wants to
go anywhere and have this.
Oh, right.
And one time at my birthday party, we had the Pepsi challenge. Do you remember that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we made people take the Pepsi challenge.
How'd it go?
It was good. I chose Coke, so I was happy because
Right.
it was kind of like the politics back then in the 80s. Pepsi was a lot bigger, I think, back then. It was Coke versus Pepsi.
Okay.
And so it was like, I like Coke.
Yeah,
but
just
then
because you want to stick it to the man.
But what if you take the Pepsi challenge and you choose Pepsi?
Yeah. Oh, bro, I remember these.
You know?
I do. Oh, I remember. It was a big deal.
Maybe we should bring it back, Republican Democrat challenge.
Yeah, if we could get people to fight about liquid beverages, maybe we could get something done in the country.
There's something here for that. I gotta
Make this your platform. I will restore the Pepsi challenge, and then throw a Dr. Pepper in there. Just a Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter. I'm not on Facebook. I'm Twitter. I'm a Twitter guy.
Cat or dog?
Dogs.
Yeah, if you said cat, we would have fought.
Yeah, I have 2 dogs.
We would have fought, but I would have asked you not to fight back. Yeah, I would have been like, can you hold really, really still?
Don't move.
Right, right. MSU or some lesser school.
MSU, that's where Jesus went, right?
That's in the Bible.
I've heard
Look
that.
it up. Yeah. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Really?
Yeah.
What is
yeah.
wrong with you?
No, cake is, no.
Brah, have you, okay, now how's this? Have you ever had mincemeat pie?
No. I don't want to either.
Okay, we're fighting.
I like chocolate or apple or,
Chocolate cake pie?
yeah, like French silk pie.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, well, I'll change your life.
Pie?
French silk pie? Dude,
French? What is it? Surrender to other
been
pies?
alive? Yeah. Well, listen. You're gonna change your opinion of the French after you have French silk pie. I'll guarantee it, bro. I'll bet.
All right,
I'll bet
you're in.
everything you have.
All right, I'm in. We're gonna. Okay, I have a pocket knife
That's what we're betting. That
with my name on it.
and the blade came out. This is not a pocket knife. This is a switchblade, I think.
No, switchblades go. Eh. This goes. Eh.
What's this? What does that go?
That's a knife.
So you just walk down, you pop it out, and then you shiv somebody. And
Well, if kids got balloons, it's a riot.
I'm scared right now. You have weapons.
You've never.
All I brought with me was.
gotta carry a
All I brought with
pocket
me
knife.
was the 2 guns.
You grew up on a farm, dude. You have to
I
carry.
didn't grow
pocket
up on a
knives.
farm.
Oh.
No, but I spent time on the farm.
Because it's a law, isn't it? In Montrose, if you don't have a pocket knife, they're like, yeah, loser.
I'm just
Communist.
I'm nervous being here that they're going to arrest me for having 2 guns.
I
right
may
here.
have. Oh yeah. Someone call a vet because those pythons are sick.
Some guy said this to me during mass in the bathroom. He's come up. I was my 5-year-old. I was
priest
doing the
clothes,
thing.
was he?
No, he's
Okay, good.
said, "Sir, do you know where the nearest veterinarian is?" And I said, "No, it's during mass. Those pythons are sick."
Okay, now
And
I
then
like
was,
that.
And then I was like, "Are you hitting on me? What's the deal?" He wasn't. And now I know him. Now he's a good guy.
Well, my nephew Brian, when he was in high school, and he's a weightlifter, a big, strong kid, and there was some news story, and somehow, and he's such a Krupp, he got behind the interview and went, "Someone call the vet because these pythons are sick." And I was never, like, if he cures cancer, that's number 2.
Yeah, that's.
And he did it at a point
like
where they
that
couldn't
guy.
cut it. You know what I mean? So it's in there. And
I love it.
oh,
I
he's
love
a
it.
good kid. You'd love him.
That's
All
that's my new life goal.
right. Lollipop or sucker? What do you call it?
We call it sucker.
Okay, because you're.
You call it
normal.
supper or dinner?
Dinner, I think. I don't know. I call it happy.
We call it
Bacon fest.
a 4th meal.
Yeah.
We call it dinner, but on the farm they call it supper.
I don't remember. What do we call it, Pa? Do you know when we ate it? 4:15.
Yeah, no, you got to eat early because
Yeah.
then you get another. Then you go for
Another
like 7
shift.
o'clock snack.
Yep.
Yeah, I know all the tricks.
What were we talking about? Oh, euchre or pinochle?
Neither cribbage. I like cribbage.
I don't know cribbage.
Oh, I don't know euchre or pinochle.
It sounds like cabbage, and I hate cabbage, so I won't play it.
Yes.
Yeah. Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Well, of course, because they don't have Kogels. You don't have Kogels, right?
No.
Okay, best hot dogs ever. Highways or back roads?
Back roads.
Nice.
Come on.
We ask this question, but no one's ever said the wrong answer. Bacon or ham? You know what we should do? We should change it to brisket.
Can I say this?
Hit me.
Ham doesn't make our menu often, but every time it does, you're like, man, ham's good. We should have ham more often.
I know.
But I could change your life. Well, I'll change your life with the French silk pie. My mother makes a ham sauce that once you have the ham with the sauce,
Yeah.
you're like, I'll never eat regular ham. Even though regular
Shut
ham's
up.
good.
Really?
Dude, I should have her make you some.
Yes,
And you could
please.
just drink it.
Yes.
Like it's
Pour it on my
it's-
body.
My boys are always like, is Grandma bringing the ham sauce? I'm like, yes, calm down. You don't need to riot.
All
She's
right, we're
bringing the ham
changing this.
sauce.
Bacon, brisket, or
Ham with
Birk's
ham
sauce. And if anyone ever picks that,
We'll send him a jar.
we'll send them a jar. Free. Courtesy of Matt Birk.
Curtis.
Because you didn't vow poverty.
No, but I'm getting there with all these kids.
Right,
I'm getting
yeah.
there quickly.
They know how that happens now.
I know.
Augustine or Aquinas?
I'm going to say Augustine.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I can't really understand Aquinas.
God can't understand.
And I feel like I was kind of on the Augustine plan, if you will. Like
Oh, he's
I have
the
not
man.
become a great church father yet.
Yeah.
Sure, I will pretty soon.
totes.
But the whole, I've tried everything else. God, I might as well try you. I can relate to that. Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? I love that the church gives us saints that are train wrecks of human beings.
I just read this the other day, and it said that most saints did not start out well.
No.
But they finished well. And I was
Yes.
like, boy, if I ever needed to hear something, that's it. That's a cool thing. Like the saints were not sitting around saying, dude, we are just killing it.
Right.
Like we are so awesome.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you,
Bro.
they were all.
Just you read their journals, and they just want I love that this quote. I do not understand myself. I never do the good things I mean to do. I always do those things I hate. I set my mind about doing what's right, but I find my spirit is willing and my flesh is weak.
Who can't relate to that?
Saint Paul.
Yeah.
3/4 of the New Testament.
Dude.
The guy the other apostles called the apostle.
I know,
It's like,
man.
yeah, I'm a wreck.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Humility. I'm sometimes in awe of my own humility, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
is humility.
I remember your book, Humility and How It Made Me Great.
Yeah.
That was the second best book I ever read behind mine.
Yeah.
Right? The 3 most humble men in the world and how I taught the other 2.
I don't want to brag, but I memorized the Litany of Humility.
Nice. When I act humble, St. Francis of Assisi takes notes.
Of course.
Yeah. Now, we have other questions, but Carrie, for 45 minutes, has been giving us the wrap-up.
I don't know.
And
You
she
told me-
just pulled out a gun and put it on the table.
You told me once God is outside of space and time. I have no idea how long we've been here, but I feel like maybe God was here, or maybe we're just stupid together.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I'm going to go with yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not going to ask you the rest of these questions because I know you have to go.
We'll do episode 2 sometime.
There's a
after.
dude waiting for you who I could not take in a fight.
No, that's actually a little girl. That's actually not a guy.
Right,
It's a
I
little
couldn't
girl.
take her.
No, I know. That's.
She might know kung fu. So don't you think brisket in the end, it's better bacon and ham, whatever. Bacon or brisket?
That's.
Because that's actually tough.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a legitimate question. There you go. Thanks,
So
brother.
what I'll do now, if you don't mind, is wrap us up with a prayer. And, even if you do mind, I don't care. Yeah.
You're the
'cause,
boss.
it's all about me.
It's all about me and your. It's all
Right.
about you and your holiness.
Remember they say joy, right? Joe, others, yourself. That's in the Bible. Don't look it up.
I'll get a T-shirt.
Salad, pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Jesus, thank you for Matt. Thank you for his humanity, for his love for you, for his beautiful bride, and all the immortal souls their love created. You see his heart. You see his mind. You see his desire. And we ask that you bless and consecrate all 3 so that every step he takes is with you. Please bless and protect those he loves, both spiritually and physically. And Lord Jesus, you know the troubles in Ukraine, and we ask you to quickly come to their rescue, to end this violence, and to deliver them from evil. And Lord, you know all those people we love so much that we carry around in our hearts and worry about. And you know all the circumstances in our lives that we fret about. Well, we give all of them to you because we love you and we trust you. And may Almighty God bless you all, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for popping in, Matt. We're
my
so
pleasure,
glad to
man.
see you, bro. And may God bless you, man, on this journey.
Love you, brother.
Love
Thanks.
you too. See ya. Is it over?
No, it's never over.